Morning guys, morning. How you guys doing? How's everyone's day? How's everyone's morning? Indeed, Anko, it does. I saw that trade that you took. Nice one. I'm currently in these buys on pound USD. See how this plays out. Remember guys, hit that like button on the stream as well. I appreciate it. So looking at gold, let's kind of go over gold. Gold is just horrible at the moment. Just zero interest in gold right now. Right, gold is doing what we said it was going to do, which is in this 4-hour pullback, you know, we're heading towards this area of demand. Unmitigated 4-hour demand. So we're nicely coming here, but we need a pullback before we can trade this. You know, without a pullback, we just where's there to get involved in this? Zero, nowhere. You know, this morning I kind of saw this. So what I was waiting for was, we obviously had this massive push to the downside, sideways consolidation, and then we kind of dropped again. So you know, you kind of had this pullback and this kind of drop. But even if you look at this here, you know, we had this drop. What I was looking for is I wanted to see a breakout back above at least this point here. You know, so if we had kind of come above and done this, then we could have comfortably started to trade this pullback back to the top side. That didn't happen, so we're creating these internal breaks to the downside, which are all part of this bearish move. So right now there's, you know, I'm even gonna go to the 15-minute chart. There's nothing, you know, right now price. I've got this area of demand here, but that's just this indecision candle before we had this push to the upside, which created the pullback. Now this could act as an area of pullback here, but until we don't get no shift, it's really hard to sit there try trading this. You know, we at least need to see. We kind of created this, we created a pullback, and then we came down and broke this. So we kind of at least need to see a break of that in order for us to kind of get involved. Otherwise it's like super risky. Morning Masia. Otherwise the structure is still to the downside. You know, so it's really difficult to get involved in any of these moves here. You know, we at least need, so we created some internal breaks of structure, and we need to see that break at least. So we at least need to see some sort of momentum come into play so we can kind of get involved. Without that, there's just nothing in gold as it stands. You know, we are heading down here. I'm not keen on buying this up until we see internal structure shift. So our current lower high internally is this, and here is our low. So we at least need this to happen in order for us to trade this back up. And then eventually, if we get a shift here, we can then start to look at this region. Now I've got a alert set over here, but if we then kind of look at this, you can see that fib sits more or less within that area of supply. So then we can start to wait for price, if it comes back up, to trade that back to the downside. But until that point, it's like, what'd you do on gold? Nothing. You know, this is just horrible price action. You can't trade this. So it's just a matter of being patient and waiting. Hey Higo, hope you're well. So yeah, so it's just a matter of waiting for gold to give us, you know, it is creating some internal structure here, which is fine on the 5 minute. You know, we've got a 5 minute trend going lower low, lower high, lower low. So we might come down into this area of demand. If we see a shift, then we can start to trade the pullback, you know, up into this region here, and then expect, if price gives us a pullback, trading back up into here, then eventually still expect that bearish momentum to kind of be something like this. There's our lower low, lower high. We're, you know, creating a new lower low, lower high, lower low, and then that's the 4 hour pullback complete on gold. But till that point, just leave it alone and let it be. Remember guys, if there's any pairs that you want me to have a look at, feel free to just drop them in the chat and I'll have a look at them. AUD JPY, I'm not interested in trading this at all. Overall, I have a bearish bias on this. You know, that was the daily area supply. We came down, 4 hour pullback was complete. We tried to push up, price failed, and then it kind of rolled over, and now it's kind of in a range. You know, we create a 4 hour higher high, higher low, lower high, and now we're kind of just in this range. So price either needs to break this 4 hour low, and then I can continue the M15 structure down, or price needs to go up and break above this. You know, pretty straightforward. Till that point, just leaving it alone. AUD-CHF, just waiting for a pullback. You know, you can see we've had some nice breaks above this area of supply. This is that weekly zone. Just need a retracement in order to get involved. Back down into like 0.592,000, and then we can start looking for some buys on this pair. What else do we have? AUD NZD. So now you can see AUD NZD again. It's tapped into this swing fib. You know, there was the impulsive move, there was the correction. We had this change, we came all the way back to this extreme, and now it's starting to push off. So if we can get a break above this area of supply over here, then we've left all of this imbalance behind. So say something like this, and then if we can get a retracement, then we can look to continue buying this at least to this area of supply as 0.1. You know, and that in itself is still a good trade opportunity. Sorry guys, give me 1 second. So yeah, well, this could be a good move. So price has respected this. You know, we've come back into this extreme. In this down move, you could see we kind of had a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And if we get this break above this, then we got that change of character back to the top side. So I would like to see something like this. Sorry, problem. Just delete this, delete this. So I'd like to see something like this. Break above, change of character, pull back. Like I said, 0.1, that's a good area to at least take the trade to. And that's it's 165 pips. So if we got involved there, you know, stops pretty tight over here, and just had a target to here as a first point. That's still a 1 to 7 hour trade, so it's a good trade opportunity. So keep an eye on that. AUD USD, again, we're in that 4-hour pullback because we had a M15 change of character to the downside. Now again, you know, price action is pretty horrible. Like, you know, we are creating these internal breaks of structures, which is good on the 5-minute. You know, I've got the 15-minute, but these are 5-minute breaks, as you can see here. So if we can get a break back above on a 5-minute chart, then we can look at trading the M15. Now we have this entire range where we've kind of just dropped massively. So if we look at what we have, you know, this sits nicely. We have an area of supply at the extreme, and we have an area of supply here. But then we could, you know, look to trade this back up into this range before the next move. But right now, again, there's nothing on AUD USD. It's pretty sideways. Not much is happening with this. So we'll just need to wait and see. And there's not much news, so I'm not anticipating a lot to happen today. But we'll just need to wait and see. But again, it's just sticking to the rules. You know, it's not preemptively jumping into a trade and saying, oh, okay, how can I get involved with this, or what can I do, or I just need to get involved into the markets. No, it's just be patient. You know, just be patient, wait for structure to form, wait for things to happen. Now, you know, if we do get an internal change of character up over here, at least you can you know, even if you don't want to target the high over there, you can at least look to target over here. So say we get a break above and a pullback, that's still like 46 pips plus into this region. What's this doing? GU, let's see, it's coming all the way back to entry. So that's that. It's CAD CHF. So CAD CHF has entered a nice pullback. So now again, it just depends how you kind of trade or what you kind of look for. There could be some pullback plays on CAD CHF. There could be some pullback plays on that. So we've kind of broken out of this range here that we had. Kind of had the last break above here, which was a sweep of these highs, took out the liquidity, and then we started to push down. So right now price is reacting from this area of demand. So we could see price pushing back and then continuing down until we see the next break to the top side, which is, are we looking for the buy when price kind of comes back into this region here? Not really keen on looking for the shorts. See DXY is pretty strong today. And we did have some bearish news on the pound today. So that was CAD, Euro AUD. Euro AUD's looking pretty okay as a pullback trade. So you can see 4 hour, we had a change of character, started to shift bullish. Price was reacting to this area of supply over here. You can see we kind of had this higher high, higher low, and then we kind of pushed up here. So actually this should be here. So we do have an area of demand here. So if price can pull back into this region, could continue looking for buyers, at least look to trade the 4 hour pullback, which again, if we mark the high to the low, it's bringing us back into this area of supply. So again, you know, still need to wait for some of these plays to set up and come about. Nothing has happened as of yet. So that's on Euro AUD. Euro CAD, same thing. We've had this big push above. Again, just waiting for a pullback. Not much else with this. So Euro NZD kind of had a push up from this area of demand. Overall, I think we've got much more downside to go. Personally, a wait back for price to head back into supply would be a good entry. You know, we have a liquidity, we have imbalance, we have supply resting above here. We've broken these 4 hour structural points. But it's not the most cleanest pair that I'm interested in, because you can see it's pretty choppy. There's not much inefficiency or imbalance below and lower time frames. So actually it's probably one I'm actually going to take off the list. And Euro USD, you can see we've just about broken below this 4-hour swing structure. So we've probably seen a 4-hour change of character. So we could probably start to expect some further downside on the 4-hour. So there was the low, there was the pullback. If we start doing this, I think from this demand, we can probably see a retracement and start to see some daily pullback on this. But on an intraday basis, here's our current 15-minute swing. I've just preemptively marked my fib out here. You know, right now, the last internal breaker structure on the 5-minute was over here. So you kind of need to see either price create a new low here and then have a change of character to continue pushing higher, or we need to wait. Morning soccer show, how you doing? Because right now this is the lower high and this is the lower low. You know, this is all just internal over here, so trying to trade up from here is very aggressive. If we can get another breakdown, change of character, then we can look to trade this back up. But till then, that's the high that needs to be broken, and this is a nice area of supply for price to come back into. If it comes back up here, to comfortably take that 4-hour swing structure and then mitigate this 4-hour level of demand over here. So again, nothing clean as set up as of yet. Just need to be patient and wait. GA is pretty messy, not really interested in this. Pound CHF, so it's pretty close to an entry point, hasn't quite tapped into this 4-hour range. No, does it come back or does it not? We'll need to wait and see, but you can see we had a 4-hour break there, change of character, breaker structure, price pulled back, a wick down, and then it's kind of just in this range. So just waiting to see if price can come back and mitigate this demand in order to catch an entry. Now NZD CAD, this was on the weekly watch list. This is played out inch perfect. You know, this is a prime example of the price cycle playing out pretty perfectly. So you could see we had a daily breaker structure over here. We took out those lows and then we entered a pullback here. So price perfectly came into our fib zone. If we then kind of go down to the lower time frame, so you can see price started to create some structure here, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. We had a change of internal change of character here, but if we just look at it from a swing perspective, you can see, you know, we had the last push up and then this was internal and then we had a change of character here. So as we had the change of character, we've had that change of character in this daily area of a reversal. So you could see then we had this huge expansion over here. So there's your consolidation. So there's our area of consolidation. There's our expansion. There's our retracement. And then there's our reversal. So it's price cycle played out pretty inch perfect. Now here you can see we had this push up, pull back. We had this internal structure and then we shifted here. We came up to the extreme. And you can see we swept the liquidity from above these highs. So we have some pretty much equal highs here. Price closed on the 15-minute. Literally bang on equal to this. So if we just have a look at this, you can see price perfectly closed equal here. But we had this wick above to sweep the liquidity from above this. And then after that, you can see price just rolled over and it's headed to the downside pretty nicely. So now, you know, we've taken out this low. So if we can get a clean sweep of this, retrace it back into an area of newly created supply, and then price is eventually looking to do what? Take out this weak daily low that was created. And on the higher time frame, this has been bearish anyway. This was the weekly pullback, and now we're heading down on the weekly. And here we have an area of demand that's not yet mitigated. So that could be a good area for price to kind of come back into. It's a pretty textbook price action. Flow gold. So we did speak about gold. So gold as it stands, I had kind of discussed this yesterday on the stream as well. Overall, we're in a 4-hour pullback, so we are heading towards, in my opinion, 1994 region, which is the 4-hour pullback. So if you currently see gold, again, it's been pretty messy, but if you look at gold, the last breaker structure we had was to the top side, and then here is our current 4-hour pullback. Now we are in extremely high time frame area for gold, but currently the 4-hour is bullish, the daily is bullish, and by 4-hour bullish I mean the swing structure is bullish. You know, there was the high. We're currently in a 4-hour pullback, which aligns pretty nicely with this area of imbalance, and we have demand here. So within that now, you know, we are creating some structure. We are in lower low, lower high. We're currently in the lower low phase of price action, and heading down towards this area of imbalance. Now what I'm personally looking for is if we can get a retracement back up into this area of supply, which is the current swing structure. Let's just go back and move this here. So there is our current high, and this is our current low. We are in a minor area of demand here, but if price can kind of head back up to this region, then shorts from up here would look nice, just as price has done over here. We had this massive expansion, we came to this area of supply, we then started to sell off, we pulled back into this area of supply. Now we're doing this pretty much probably the same thing. We sold off. So either price gives us a pullback into this area of supply from this swing structure, and we can trade this, or if you're quite eager to trade gold on an intraday basis, the current internal structure that we have on a lower time frame, you know, we kind of had a break over here, we then had a pullback, and then we had an internal breaker structure here. So if you want to start trading gold up, for example, you at least need to see price breaking above this and having some sort of pullback to give you a sense of directional shift, and that lower time frame change of character will just allow us to start trading the pullback off of this massive swing to the downside. So currently there's not much to look at for gold. The point of interest from higher probability trade is going to be back up in like 2036 if price comes there. If price doesn't come there and price continues to sell off here, then I'll be looking for lower time frame shifts in market structure down at this region of 1994. That's the higher probability zone, because if we get a shift in market structure here, and that's the 4-hour pullback is complete, so that's the higher probability area for price to continue pushing up from this zone over here. So, you know, just be patient. I do think this area could act as a point for gold to start pushing back up, but presuming something and actually seeing it happen is two different things. So depends on what kind of a trader you are, if you like to hold swing trades or you just like intraday. So for here and now, I don't think there's going to be much volume, being Friday and not much news for price to push all the way up here today. But if we do get lower time frame shift in market structure, so there's our high and there's our low, if this high gets broken, you know, something like this and a pullback, then we could look to continue higher. I appreciate it. Thanks very much, Flo. And I've pinned our Discord in the link. Feel free to join that. I do sessions and stuff and cover off pairs and go over my understanding of market structure and stuff. So I do appreciate that. Too many people are always eager to get involved into the markets, and that's the problem. It's like, you just see an area of whether you're supply, demand, support and resistance trader, how many people are potentially seeing this region here as an area of support. We've tapped into it once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then like, oh, let me trade it. So it's like, no, no matter what trading strategy you have, if you don't have the ability to truly understand market structure, always going to fail, no matter who you are, me included, as everyone, no matter who we are. If we are not going to have an understanding of true market structure, we will fail. And that's the reality of it. So it's super important to truly understand it. The strategies are the strategy is just like your entry model, your entry and exit model, but those trades are only as successful as our understanding of market structure. So hopefully that helps on gold. So we can see, so that's what I'll be waiting for on an intraday, a break above this and a pullback, and I'll look to take some longs as a pullback trade. If not, I'll wait for price to head down to the region and then look to trade. The worst thing to do is get involved in a market where you do not understand where within structure it is, and you're just like blindly entering the market and just trying to catch some sort of a trade. That's the worst thing to be doing, because you don't know where it's heading or what it's doing. So it's just like, you don't want to get caught up on the wrong side of that. You want to make sure you are on the right side of it. And too many people are just eager in like, let me just jump into a trade now and catch it. Trading is about waiting for that setup to happen and waiting for price to come to you more than anything else. Come on, GU. Are you going to continue up for me or what? So yeah, as I was explaining, NZD CAD, this was a perfect example of the price cycle. Lifetime members, go on the weekly watch list and have a look at it. Exactly the region where I said we were going to sell off from. Now, why did I enter on GU here? And I'll kind of explain my entry reason for GU. Excuse me. Just grab some water. Remember guys, if you're new here, hit a like. It's free content here I'm giving away. Subscribe, join the Discord. So yeah, GU entry was purely high time frame. We've been bullish. We can see 4 hours structure. So we had the last breaker structure here on the 4 hour. There's our last 4 hour low. There's our current 4 hour high. Now we had a change of character, and you could see we had aggressive selling coming into this region because of news. And this is the key area where the 4 hour pullback was complete. So as the 4 hour pullback was complete in here, we had an area of demand here and an area of demand sitting within our fib zone. So now looking at this on a lower time frame, what can we see? We can see where's our last M15 structure. Our last M15 structure is, there's the M15 high, there's the M15 low. Now within this, we have some 5-minute structure as well, which is the 5-minute trend within that 15-minute. But the only point we create that is down here. We create a lower low, lower high, lower low. So we have an internal breaker structure here on that 5-minute chart, and then everything here is consolidation, all sideways, and it's all just liquidity to be taken. You can see here price wicks down, takes out the liquidity here, and then we push above here. So at this point here, we've had a change of character, because in this downtrend, this was the last lower high and this was the last lower low. So in order for price to enter that retracement pullback, this is the high that I needed to break. And it's not just, you know, bear in mind, it's not just that it's 5-minute structure, it's the fact that it's happening in this higher time frame area. The 4 hour is overall bullish, the pullback is complete. I'm not sitting here trying to trade this all the way back up to the 4 hour high over here. That's not what I'm trying to do. All I'm doing is there's a high probability trading scenario within this for me to trade the current M15 swing leg, and that's all I'm looking to do. You know, I'm trading structure within structure now. You know, lifetime members, one-to-ones, especially the one-to-ones, you guys will know what I mean when we're talking about that kind of structure. But it's patience. You know, I didn't jump in on a trade as soon as price kind of came into this. Why? Because price is still bearish. Why am I going to get involved when I've not had my confluences align in order for me to be able to take that trade? So at this point, price is crawling, and then boom, we snap above here. We have a change of character. So we've now taken out the lower high and created a higher high. So there's the indication to say, right, price is now looking to go bullish. And again, it all aligns with higher time frame market structure, not just trading a breaker structure or a change of character in a lower time frame anywhere on a chart is not going to make you profitable. You lose more often than not. You know, the high probability setup is going to be based on price coming into high time frame key areas and then kind of shifting. So that happened. We had this impulsive move. Price is pretty efficient below. We tapped into here, and there was my entry. You know, all I just wanted to see was price not breaking this, and then now price is doing whatever it's kind of doing, and I'll see, either I'll win it, either I don't. But those are the you know, I would always take the trade based on price being like this, and we can't always expect price to, you know, just go up in one direction. Sometimes price consolidates, price does certain things, but it's having an understanding and why you're entering a trade and what the reason for it is. You know, as long as it aligns with your rules, then it's perfect. Now, Nasdaq is in a daily area of supply, as we could see. So we look at the daily chart. We last had this 4 hour breaker structure here. We've kind of just had this rally. We are in this daily area of supply. So in this downtrend, if price is going to continue bearish, this high needs to be protected. This is the strong high, so we should be expecting downside momentum from this point. But again, we're not just going to preemptively do that. You know, we have to wait for market structure to shift. Now, within this, sorry, let me just go to the daily. So now if we go within this on the lower time frame, we could see the last breaker structure that we had. Where did we get a closure? I'm just going to mark this across here. So we had a break here. So now we currently have this range that we're trading within. We have this low and we have the current high. So within this time frame, you know, price is pretty choppy over here, but we can see we had a 15-minute push up, pull back, and then we've kind of had this push up. So we're pretty much just trading within a range at the moment. So for me personally, I'm not looking at trading anything on Nasdaq until price doesn't take out this low, you know, from this area of supply. So I want to see a clean break of this low with some sort of a pullback, and then we can start to trade this back down. And if we just mark out where is demand within this current 4 hour swing range, we have this perfect area of demand that sits within this range, and we have this imbalance here. So we have this perfect region here to trade, you know, trade down into if we get a shift. Because if price kind of shifts over here, we still have this unmitigated area of demand. Price could come here and create a new high. So you don't want to preemptively get into it. You want the swing low to break. Now if this swing low breaks, then we have some room for price to continue down. But taking a trade off of this break, you can, but it's more risky because the swing low hasn't broken. So, you know, it really depends on what your appetite is. You either wait for a break off these lows, and then price to head back up to some sort of area of supply to short and take partials over here and then run your rest of your trade down here, or you wait for a break of these lows with some sort of a retracement to then enter a trade. So Nasdaq, as of now, again, there is nothing to trade, nothing whatsoever to trade. So let's look at US30. So US30 came in. Let's look at US30. Yeah, so perfectly came into this fib. So US30, I'm still expecting US30 to push higher. So we can see we had this change of character in US30. So that strong swing high was protected on US30, as we can see here. You know, we had this point here that caused the break, and then we've had this retracement. So after this retracement, you know, what did we get? We kind of had this push up, pull back, push up, change of character down here. So now we're really waiting for US30 to head back into like the 34,000 region before the 4-hour pullback is complete, and we can look to continue shorting this. Now internally, again, if we look at it, we had this massive push up. You know, this is just internal pullback. So if we do look at US30, you know, there's probably buy opportunities if anyone's looking for it, but you really need to see a break above this current internal high, you know, because internally, what have we got? We had this push up, pull back, push up. We had a change of character here. So if we mark this as our change of character, price then came to the extreme. We have this area of supply. And you can see price came to this extreme. It wicked above this to sweep the liquidity, and then boom, we had a massive sell-off. So then we had a breaker structure, internal breaker structure here. We then pulled back, and then we had another internal breaker structure. Now these breaks of structures are just part of the pullback. So when that change of character happened, we could have quite comfortably, on these breaks of structures, continued trading the pullback off of this. Now look where price bounces from and continues pushing up. But you know, if you didn't catch a trade down here, which you could see, we had this push above. Now there wasn't much structure here, but the key was that this was the 70 to 79% region here. Price broke out of supply with strong momentum, and then rinse and repeat, guys. Look at that. Price perfectly closes within this area of demand, within our fib, and then as soon as this candle closes, this bullish candle here, we could be looking to take our trade there, put our stops below, and start. At least we could target the 70 to 79% of the reversal of this, which you could see we have an area of supply over here. That would have been a nice 1 to 5 hour trade, playing out perfectly. But now if we miss that, what's the trade? Now the trade is, we need this high, lower high, this lower high to break, you know, because currently this is our structure. If we can see a break off of this, we'll probably see a break off of this, a reaction to demand, to supply, sorry, and a pullback. Then we can look to get long, because then from the higher time frame, we had this, we entered a pullback, and we're going to do this. See, crucial understanding structure. Come on, GU, let's get moving. Give me my trade so I can spend this money in Vegas next week. Remember, guys, hit the like, Hopefully you're enjoying the stream, and hopefully you're learning something and taking something away from it. Anko, are you here, Anko? Let me know if you're here, Uncle. So remember, Anchor, what on USD JPY, I said to you the other day that we have this area of demand, but we have this demand that's sitting at the bottom. No worries at all. We have this demand sitting at the bottom, and price might want to come down here and mitigate this before pushing higher. I don't know if you remember that when I said that to you. And you could perfectly see, look where price came down to. Came down to this area of demand perfectly, just below this, and continue to push off to the top side. So now we're in a perfect region for continuing to look for buys on this. Why? Because you could see in this pullback, you know, we created this, you could kind of see this structure, we kind of broke above, and then we created this low, and now we've had this nice change of character back to the top side. So if we now look at this, delete this, the pullback is complete, mark up our new fib, we have a perfect area of demand sitting here. So any kind of retracement back into here, at least target the previous high over here. Yeah, in most cases, if there's inefficiency and stuff, you're typically going to get price mitigating the extreme zone. So this looks good. If we can kind of get a retracement, we've seen change of character here. Just going to stick an alert down here for this. We have now, overall, I'm pretty long on this. You know, the 4-hour pullback was complete. So if we look at this from a wider perspective, we should be expecting this to continue pushing higher, at least to this area of supply as our next target. You know, price came into this, respected this, tried to break it, couldn't. Now we're internal structure has shifted bullish. So now any kind of retracement back into here, we should see a continuation. Now look at gold on a 15-minute chart. I'll mark this level of demand, and look where so far gold has closed. Above the 50% of that GAN box. But again, I'm not looking to get in. I want to see a break of this high at least over here in order to get in. Until that point, just let it be. No worries, Anchor, you're welcome. Damn, I missed out on this trade. I didn't have it on the watch list. Look at that. Had this marked up. And it's crazy. Look at structure is king. You know, I tell people this all the time. Like, if you truly start to master it and understand it. Look, we had this massive push up. Look at the volume, but look where price virtually closed. It respected the zone, and then it rejected from there. Price came down, reacted to demand. Demand failed as it couldn't push price higher, and then the entry would have been here. Look at that perfect closure within this fib. Wait for that candle to close. As soon as you start seeing the bearish candle, enter, have your stops above there. Your target should at least be targeting that targeting the weak low of that swing move, which is this. You know, similar thing, price cycle again. Consolidation, expansion, retracement, reversal. So what are we looking at on AUD CAD? So yeah, price is heading towards this area. So we have this area of unmitigated demand. We do have some imbalance here, so price could definitely come back down into this region, but also from a, you know, we did see this break above. We have created liquidity, so we could see price coming down here and continuing the pullback before we continue bearish, because the pullback is currently off of, we have this high up here and then we have this low. So if we look at that area of unmitigated supply sits nicely within it, so we could definitely see price coming down into this demand for the next push up. Okay, go look at that 15-minute perfect closure there. CAD JPY not doing much. CHF, oh, CHF JPY, I missed this. Pull back. Again, just need to wait. So what we have here. Yeah, missed out on this, to be fair. Let's go GU. Welcome to anyone that's new here. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat. Any charts you want me to have a look at, and I have the link to our Discord above. It's free to join. GU Anchor, what is it up at the moment? Like 17 pips? Nothing crazy, nothing crazy. People sit there trying to catch 17 pips all day, so it's all good. You know, it's more the analysis and the you know, that's more important to me. Like, obviously depending on people's account sizes, for me, I could quite easily, in the lot sizes that I trade, 17 pips is pretty decent money, but nah, it's about sticking to the plan, sticking to the analysis, sticking to what we know. Pips are the byproduct of everything we do. So yeah, Euro AUD, we've spoken about mostly Euro pairs. Let's see what GJ's doing. GJ, not much. Let's just leave it alone. Pretty, not really interested in GJ buyers until it comes into 167, 500. Yeah, exactly. People are sitting there all day waiting for 10 pips, right? We do this daily. Like, pips aren't even an issue anymore at all. Now this is the thing, you know, how many people, when price went off, came back, oh, retested again, oh shit, they're closing their trade out, oh, it's come back to break even, you know, like, stick to the plan. Like, it's having the confidence and knowing what we've discussed, what we spoke about, the 4 hour, what we spoke about the 15, what we spoke about the 5, like all of these things are a combination of why I'm holding my trade and how I'm getting into it. If I was like a typical trader who just looks at this price action and just be like, oh, there's demand and I'm taking it to the next supply and that's it, you'll be out in like, yeah, 5-10 pips, whatever, you know. But that's not how we trade. That is not how we trade. Let's see what GBP NZD is doing. Pretty messy. GU, we've covered that. NZD CAD, covered that. Let's look at NZD JPY. I've not had a look at this in a while. So NZD JPY, we can see we reacted off of this. We wicked into this weekly area of supply, and also that aligned pretty nicely with that fib. This is actually good for some downside. We have been kind of ranging in this sideways price action, but this is looking pretty good for some downside sellers from this weekly time frame. So if we look at that in a weekly area of reversal, let's look at the daily. So the daily we had higher, 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 low, higher, 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 low, higher, high. Yeah, we have currently been ranging. So I would expect probably price to come at least back up into here. Well, it's tapped the 70 to 79, which we can see why it's kind of selling off. This is the daily area of supply, but I just personally, I think that's just a reaction from that fib zone. We still have this area of imbalance, so I wouldn't be overly keen on continuing to short this until price got back into like the 87 region. So for now, what do we have? We have this current 4-hour structure, right? So if this area holds up, which there's no reason why it shouldn't do, if it's going to continue pushing up from here, that's 200 odd pips. So we had our last 4-hour break structure here. So it's like we are here. What was this pullback? So yeah, so we're in this region of reversal now. I would want to see like a break above and a pullback, you know, a shift in market structure in order to get involved. So we are in that key area. We've already discussed on the daily, we have this area of supply, which again, preemptively expecting the daily to sell off from this point, even though we've not had a daily change of character, but we've mitigated the weekly supply. So that was where we had this aggressive sell-off. All of this is kind of the pullback on the daily. As you can see, we broke above this. So yeah, I'm expecting price to come up into this region. Now, whether we do it at this 4-hour, which is what I would be expecting, if not, then price could still come down into this range, but I would expect this 4-hour structure to maintain its course and price to shift from this area. But again, nothing is ever 100%, so just need to be patient and wait. I believe we do have some news for the dollar today, but I think it's at like 3 o'clock UK time. Yeah, we have prelim consumer confidence. It's a red folder news, so you know, you'll probably get some volume from it. How much it's going to move the market, it's not, you know, it's not like NFP or FOMC, anything crazy. But we can probably expect volume, but it's, yeah, I wouldn't say it's. We look at when was the last one we had. So the last one was above forecast, which was 14th of April. So if you look at gold, and we just go to like the 14th of April, and that happened at 3 o'clock. So you can see on gold that there was a pretty big move. You know, what did we move when the news came in over here? We moved like 280 pips. So if we look at March the 17th, which was before that, so now here is March the 17th. So it happened here, but this was the 3 o'clock. So you could see for an hour and a half, price consolidated before it had a push up. So it wasn't a massive reaction immediately. The 3 o'clock candle was what, like an 80 pip candle, still quite a big candle, but then we had an aggressive move. So yeah, I would probably say it does move the market. This does move the market quite a fair bit actually. I would recommend FX Replay. Now, I don't use it, and I don't really use much back testing software myself anymore. But speak to some of the members. Speak to Ryan in the lifetime section. FX Replay is a really good tool. BTC, so yeah, BTC, you know, what did I say? Even like Damien asked, I said price was going to sell off from here, and look at it. You know, in my opinion, I'm not saying I'm right, but we've entered the daily pullback and we had this change of character. I could definitely see, well, I could personally see it coming back down to at least 22,500. Yeah, Forex Tester 5 is good, and it was good, but when I saw Ryan using FX Replay, that just looks amazing. That looks really, really good. So yeah, Anchor, pretty much this is what I'll be saying. You can see we perfectly pulled back. We've broken that higher time frame. We've had a breaker structure now. We had a change of character. We've had a 4-hour breaker structure here. So now I would be saying, here's our current range. So a pullback into 28,800. If price pulls back from here, we have a perfect area of supply sitting here. And we have liquidity above these highs. So Bitcoin shorts are looking really good. I think Damien asked last week as well, I said, and you can see after change of character, we pulled back, we bounced around from here, but then boom. We are nicely selling off. Gold is looking good, like get a break above and a pullback. Start looking for some buys. So yeah, Bitcoin down to 22,000. Yeah, 22,400-ish. I could see it going. $350 for FX Replay for the year. Yeah, it's just because I saw Ryan use it. He's the best person to speak to. It looks pretty good. Like I said, I don't pretty much use any of those things anymore. When I was obviously learning, you know, I did use back testing software a fair bit, but not now. But that does look really good. Right, guys, I think I'm gonna jump off. I've got some one-to-ones to do later on. I'm probably gonna go grab some food to eat. It's like coming up to like lunchtime, and yeah, you know, end of the day, I think all of the softwares do the same thing. You know, your back testing, they, you know, pretty much most of them, they log your results, etc. They all do the same thing. It's just, I guess, it's just a personal preference, you know. But yeah, Forex Tester 5 is good. There's nothing wrong with it at all. Obviously, as time kind of goes on, it's people release new things and new softwares. But yeah, no worries. You guys too. Thanks for joining. Hopefully, again, you learned something. It's the whole point I do these. And yeah, nothing crazy in terms of news. Like I said, I've given my feedback on a lot of pairs. So I would just, you know, I think it's just about being patient and waiting for things to play out. How much happens with it being Friday is another question. We do have USD news later, which, based on look at previous historical data, it does seem like it moves the markets pretty well. So I would just wait for that. Gold is in a nice area. You know, as tempting as it looks, I look at that 15-minute perfect rejection from this demand zone. This could act nicely as an area of pullback, but yeah, just wait for the 5-minute structure to shift. You know, at least wait for this high to be taken to do this. So yeah, thanks guys, thanks DV, thanks Adam, and take it easy guys. Speak to you soon. Bye. And next week, yeah, I'm there's probably not going to be live streams next week. I'm off from Tuesday, off to Vegas, so I won't be about much next week, but I'll probably do something on Monday. So take care. Bye.